Yes, guys, happy new year to one and all. And yes, guys, it is game day. Spurs are back tonight. Of course, we are away at Brentford to start the new year with a bang. It is the return of Thomas Frank going back to his old hunting ground, going back like to your ex. Does it all? Is it always nice to see your ex in the nightclub or out having dinner? You're there with your new wife, and you see a girlfriend from a long time ago. How do you know what I mean? How do you feel? So it's a bit like that. Not like that, but I'm making it out to be that. Rain's looking at me thinking Dermot's lost the plot. He had too many beers for New Year's Eve. Doesn't know what he's saying, doesn't know what he's thinking, but let's crack onto it. But Wayne, how are you, Pod?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, it is gonna. Frank actually spoke about it, didn't he? Going
Yeah,
back to Brentford. It it's kind of like going, meeting an ex who you had a good relationship with and,
yeah,
an amicable split
yeah.
because I think he's very much respected and
Mm,
loved at Brentford. He and he clearly built helped build that club
mm,
from the ground up. From the Championship to the stable Premier League club that they currently are. He knows it's the classic. He knows the tea lady thing,
yeah,
Dermot. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I do.
And I've always been very, very clear wherever I've worked that you treat the receptionist with as much, or if sometimes, if not more, respect than you treat, the senior managers
Yeah.
of where you are, and it seems like Frank has that kind of respect from Brentford, so it'll be an interesting visit back for him, I'm sure.
It well it's the first game of 2026, a year I think we do well in. I think we need to back up the Palace game as well. But let's crack into it. Rain, let's go into it. These are the injury lists. Of course, Madison is out with his ACL. Kulu's out with the ACL. Should be back soon, though. Your doggy is back training, doing one-to-one training. Solanke is still out with his ankle, but he is out training. Me and Rain nearly fell off our chairs when we saw the videos of Solanke training. Bergville now is a doubt. When you get to the if you get to the when we get to the predicted lineup, you have see what I've done, but he is a doubt. But I think he'll play. I do. That gives you a little bit of an insight. You've got breaking news there. We've got Simmons doing his second of his 3-match suspension. Basuma at AFCON and Papa Sarr as at AFCON as well. Now, talking about your doggy, he's running out there on the pitch, says Thomas Frank. Yes, they do in individual sessions on the pitch. So progressing going forward. So that is good. We also got team news. Everyone should be available, and that includes Bergville as well. And then with Romero, we know he's back from suspension. There is another one going out. So very quickly, Rain, can you explain to the people watching this predicted lineup what is going to be decided in early January? So what is the story behind that, bud?
As far as I'm aware, there's the club are deciding whether to speak with the FA about the way that Romero was treated during the Liverpool game.
Mhm.
So we've seen Forest complain to the PGMOL about one of their recent games. That might have even been Liverpool, if I remember rightly. And Spurs are looking to do the same because Romero was booked for speaking vociferously. He wasn't holding back with
Yeah,
the referee after Ekatike. After Ekatike pushed him, I think that's fact, and scored a goal. I think there's even been an apology from the
yeah.
PGMOL on that incident, which
Bit
gives you
late now.
nothing after the event. So
No.
from it seems, and you and I and this channel will monitor it quite closely. But it seems as though Frank and the club are taking a slightly different stance to what the club's taken in the
Mm,
past, and might be willing to put a little bit more pressure on the PGMOL and the FA on the way that we're treated by referees. And if they do, and they do it in the right way, because we still want to be a decent club.
Mm.
We don't want to be we don't want to be like some clubs who are viewed as bad actors, like maybe that lot down the road. If they do it the right way, then I think you and I will be look very, very favourably on it.
Yeah, I would. I really would. I think we need to do that. We've been too much of a pushover, I think, over the last sort of 10, 15 years, 10 years, definitely last 10 years, we have been a pushover. Look, we've gone all the way back to Lasagna Gate, to decisions going against you. Look at the Champions League final, the penalty that shouldn't have been, even UEFA are at it. Like, so, but look, I think it's great. Look, I still called it then with that pushing the back very quickly on that rain, that I thought I didn't see it straight away, so I didn't think nothing of it. But the more you see it in slow motion, I think it looks worse in slow motion than it does in real time. So referees have a hard enough job refereeing games in general. I think VAR makes it even more harder for them to ref games, personally. I think Ange Postecoglou was spot on when he said that VAR refereeing the game, the referee's the mouthpiece. And I totally agree with that 100%. But no, I agree with this. Good, fair play, Tottenham. Well done. Keep it up. Let's just start this and let's carry on. Right. So Romero is back. Does he start? And yes, he does start. The captain goes back into the starting lineup. And this is the 11 that I picked now from the Sunderland game. It will be a predicted lineup from me and Rain. We're going to both pick a predicted lineup. We're going to get together and pick the 11. So this is the last one that I'm picking solo. This is next one will be down on both of us. So get your heart out on, Rain. Get ready for
It's
some
going to be
belters.
an interesting discussion between us.
It really will be.
To agree.
No, it'd be like that. You ever heard the song? I will send you the song "Boxer Goes to Stuttgart," and it's about he's picking the Irish team with Jack Charlton. One wanted Cascarino, the other one wanted Quinn. So no Quinn. So yeah, and then somebody put the head in somebody else. So it ended up in the fight. It might end up like that, but very hard to computer screens. But you never know. Things can. We might even do a pre-record of how we pick a team. That will be hilariously funny to watch. Um. Anyway, let's start with the team. Is a Vicario in goal. We got a back of four of Jed Spencer Romero. We've got Mickey Van der Ven, Porro. We've got a midfield three of Palunia sitting on the number 6 row. Then we've got the two midfielders, the two young lions, the two young cockerels, ready to crow and hunt their way in that midfield. In Bergville, yes, he does start. And Archie Gray got his first professional football goal as well at the week against Crystal Palace. And then with the front three, I've gone with a traditional two left and the right wingers running in that wing, getting the crosses in. And Colo then said, "Thank you very much. I'm going to gobble them all up." A bit like a turkey looking at Burden Matthews after Christmas and just banging them back in the net. Let's start with the back four. Right, look, it picks itself, doesn't it? Rarely. Um, Where's the weakness for you? I said it after the Palace game, right? That I thought the back four looked very calm there without Romero in it. With Romero, yes, he is captain. He does bring aggression. It looks a little bit, I think, it looks a little bit that on edge. Do you know what I'm saying? That a mistake can happen. Do you agree or disagree? Just quickly on that sort of question.
Well, I mean, I called I made my opinion clear that the Palace game was a perfect game for Danzo. Yeah. He came up against and he fronted up, and actually that's how it played out. Very much fronted up against Maketa, and was the rock that we needed. Romero isn't afraid to be that strong, but Danzo is absolutely excellent at it. Winning duels, he's not pretty when it comes to doing his distribution, but he doesn't need to be if we're playing a bit more pragmatic, and he allowed Van der Ven to roam a little bit. I think there's a place for Danzo in this team against Brentford. I
Would you?
think, yeah, I think there is. I think there's still a place for him. I think either. I mean, obviously Romero's had a break, so he's fresh and ready to come back. And it wasn't an injury; it was a suspension, so it was a proper break. Is there a question? I'm very aware that we're playing a lot of games and that there's a lot of games to come. Is this a game that Van der Ven could take a break?
Well, he is one booking away, isn't he, from suspension as well?
When does that? It would be interesting to know when that cutoff is. I think it's the end of January, isn't it?
I think it's the end of January. Yeah. So I think
okay.
I did do it the other day. Actually, I did actually mention it in the previous show. Off the top of my head, I think it's that one. Let's see.
So I'm very wary on that point. Whilst you look for that, Dermot, I'm very wary that we're going to start overplaying some players. Now, what all that will mean is that we run about less, that we become sort of more pragmatic, and Spurs fans don't like that. So but that's something that I'm wary of. Is there opportunities for, and with Dragusin back as well? Are there opportunities for some of our defensive players to have a? I'd rather us rest. This is our first choice 5, as it currently stands. Although I do agree that Udogie on the left, if he's back and fit, and Spence at right back is probably a better back 5. It's probably our A team. But I would prefer to see gradual rotation, one player being rotated every now and again.
Not over rotation where 6 or 5 or 6 plays. But I get that. So the players are right. Van der Ven, Danso, Porro, Bentancur, and Richarlison. They are the 5 players that are one booking away from the suspension. Now, we do have Sunderland on Sunday in 3 days' time after this. Now, that's why I didn't start Palunia for when I did mine then for the Palace game, because I knew there was a short term. Again, I think young players can get away with it a bit more. I think they've got a bit more energy about them. They got a bit more sort of fulfill about them. So when you look at that midfield 3, Rain, I think that's a midfield 3 that looks more composed, more connected with one another, and that Bergville and Gray can look at Palunia and sort of he can guide them through the game, because they know if once they go past them, they know they've got a player there that's going to get his tackles in. He's going to block. He's going to do what he does best. And maybe that's with, we've got the rumors that Højbjerg could be coming back to Tottenham. It is a rumor, but it's apparently one of the things that he's looking for, these experienced players who know Tottenham. I think that could be a replacement for Bentancur, but that's for a different show. But for that midfield 3 for myself, Rain, I think that's a better midfield 3 than I think with Bentancur sitting in that number 6 role.
Yeah, I don't mind this at all, and I totally get your. As soon as you said it, it made 100% sense. This it goes back to me what I was saying about deliberate and gentle rotation on our terms, basically, because we know that if you overplay players, you then have to rotate by necessity because they go out. They either hit a fatigue wall or they become injured. So I like this. I like what you've done, and I agree with it.
You and me agree quite a lot, actually. To be fair, we do have we're sort of on the same wavelength, which is quite funny. Considering how we first met, we totally disagreed about the protest. God, bring back the protest now. I'll be agreeing with you that at the moment. Look, Odebear, Kudos, and Kolo up front. Look, I think Kolo is not a left winger. I think it was stupid playing them there. I've said it before. I want strikers to play. I want to ditch this sort of a striker can play anywhere across the front three. You buy a striker to do your job. Your job is to score goals. That wins your games. That gets you points. You've got wingers in Kudos and Odebear, both quick. Odebear, Kudos is a far advanced winger than Odebear is, but I think Kudos, I think in the last few games has dropped off a little bit. I think he needs to find a little bit of form again. I think Odebear's come back. He's had a bit of an injury, came back, and he wants to prove that what he was doing at the start of the season wasn't a one off. So for me, you start with Odebear. He's fresh, he's young, he's hungry. He wants to attack that Brentford back four, back three. And also, I think there's a weak link there. Nathan Collins, the Irish captain, the Irish international, is a bit of a weak link in that Brentford side. Now, Nathan Collins is a very good footballer. I think he's not Premier League ready. He's more Championship football, but I think he is a bit of a weak link. Um, but I think that's where this front three can cause a bit of havoc. But Kudus and Odebear, get your crosses in and put them on the plate from Colo for him to bang them in the back of the net. So what are you going with? Do you agree with that front three, or do you think it could be changed a little bit?
I like that front three. Um, we are going to disagree because
Yay!
because I think you play with Charlatan when he's hot,
Yeah, that's a
basically,
good point.
and he's hot at the moment because you know he'll go cold or
Yeah,
injured. So you extract every single ounce of value from Richarlison while he's hot, and he's hot at the
yeah,
moment, even though he's um, he's against Palace. He was offside, or Bergvall was offside. Um, uh, he still was on it. I think Frank will play Richarlison.
mm,
And but I absolutely agree with you about Moani. We need to see Moani play up top,
yeah.
and um, and it will happen. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of when. On Kudus, I'm wondering if Kudus is again. I wonder if Kudus is hitting a fatigue wall, um, and
Maybe.
the and the danger with us letting Johnson go, much as we generally agree with letting him go, is who is now going to give Kudus a break
Mm,
on that as a right winger? Is it going to be Odebear going over there and we play Tell on the left? So I like this. I suspect if I was to predict what Frank is going to play, I suspect he'll probably play. I think he'll probably be with Charlatan up top, and there's a chance he might play Odebear on the right and Tell on the left. But it'll be interesting to see. Which I don't think would be a good idea, but I think he might feel his hand is forced a little bit. But I would like that. I would prefer him to play this team.
yeah, I do too. Look, for me, I think it's a team that I think can do a job, and that's the most important thing, isn't it? It's about doing the job. It's about getting the 3 points tomorrow. Look, I did think also while you were talking, Rain, about you could play it another way. You could play Kudus as a number 10 and play a diamond, and then you play Richie and Colo up front, and then you'd have Spence and Porro. I think it works better with your doggy and Spence actually as win backs than Spence and Porro. But if you have Spence and Porro as proper win backs, do you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
so you're playing sort of three at the back, a five-man midfield, and then you play you play Kudus as a 10, and then you play Colo and Richarlison as a two up front. And then you can bring in your Dansos or your Dragonson. Then do you know what I mean? I know it's a change of formation. I know it's a bit more heavy rotation, but that's something else he can now do with, can't he? with these players coming back, he can change the formations around. He's not so stuck on the 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 formation. He can change it a little bit. Do you think that's important, isn't it, for Sunderland coming up? Because we do have the list of games that are coming up, right? And these are the games coming up. We got Brentford tomorrow, then we've got Sunday, we've got Sunderland at home. Wednesday, we've got Bournemouth away, and then we've got the massive FA Cup. That's our season defining match, that game there. On the 10th, that's where our season lives or dies. So if you looking at that Villa game, would you be looking to change formation in the next couple of games just to rest players or try something different?
In a word, no. I get what you're trying to do. I'd just be very, very worried that it would confuse these poor dears. These guys. I think these guys need a bit of stability because I just don't think they're that adept to do what you're asking them to do. I think they're just going to get confused. It's just going to be a mess. So whilst yes, it's a good idea, and unfortunately, unless you do something like that, eventually we're going to end up playing like Van de Ven or Dragusin at left back. Do you know what I mean? To provide that kind of rest and that cover, and to have a bit of energy at fullback because we've got no other fullbacks. So I see what you're trying to do. I just worry whether these players are tactically astute enough to have that kind of flexibility, to have that kind of nous. I mean, personally, I'd love to play 4-3-2-1 with 2 10s and a striker up top, and 3-3-3. So and yes, to have fullbacks pushing forwards a lot more. But I think we're gonna see what we're gonna see. And yes, the Villa game on the 10th is everything should be lined up to that. Yes, we want to win every single game, but we should be trying to ensure that we're keeping people fresh so that we can get the best, our best team on the pitch against Villa.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, guys, we're going to leave it there, but we are going to leave you. We're going to leave it there. That is our predicted lineup. Let us know in the comments if you agree, disagree, or you agree with Rain, disagree with Rain, or you agree with me, or disagree with me. Please hit the like. Please hit the subscription if we can, and we'll see you later for the watch along. I am We Are Top TV at 6:30, so join me there. Come on, you Spurs. Oh, score prediction, Rain. Sorry, what's your score prediction, bud?
2-2.
I'm going for a 3-1 Spurs win.
Yeah, lovely.